Alright. Nier Automata. I just got done beating it. I just beat the game, and damn it, I have notes written and everything, and all I gotta say is it's an amazing game. It has issues, but it's, man, was it awesome. And the cool thing, the amazing thing that's really cool is I've already started a new game. You load your save and you continue, and I just started into it. Just take a quick look, and it starts completely different with a whole new intro, and I'm like, so I don't even know what's gonna happen now. I have no idea what's gonna happen next. I'm very curious what's gonna happen. The way it starts, I don't want to spoil that for anybody. I'm not even gonna say how it starts because it's like I don't even know. I'm hoping that if the very start of the new game is going to actually be as different as it looks, it's going to change quite a bit. There was a really cool message after beating the game, after the credits rolled, from Square Enix. It was from a message that says, like, this was your first completion of the game. There are more endings. Continue playing the game. And I really want to, like. I was when I beat it, I was like, crap, it's already over. Like, no, don't be over, because the game is so cool, and I really wanted more. I had just under 17 hours played on my save file. I did spend a little time sort of exploring. The thing about the game is it's not really an open world game. It's one of those ones with like invisible walls, and there's certain areas that you can kind of go around and wander around and stuff. So it's definitely, I don't know. People will call it this open world game and stuff. I've seen it called an open world game, and it's really not. It's just a big level, right? They have a couple big levels that you can wander around in. It's not an open world game. I just want to make that very clear. What it is a hack and slash twin stick shooter RPG, action RPG game. It's amazing. 2D, 3D. So you go from side scrolling to 3D, moving the camera around normal, to twin stick shooting, 2D twin stick shooting, where you move up and down, and then like top down twin stick shooting. There's so much variety in the levels, and it's a blast. It is so much freaking fun. I love the diversity and the gameplay in it. It's great, man. The bosses, each boss was like a minimum of 10 minutes, like about 10 minutes plus. I remember one of the bosses took me literally 20 minutes. I didn't even realize that until I went back and I highlighted the boss fight, and I put it up on my YouTube channel. And it was a 20-minute long fight, and I was like, holy crap. And I never got bored. Never got bored. Like, I've played so many games where you play a boss and you're just doing the motions, and you're just back, just continue repeating the same thing, and just, whatever, and it's just a long, boring ass fight. But it's not like that in this game. This game is special, man. Everything is so different. It's really freaking cool, man. It's a lot of fun. The graphics are, I still think this looks like a PS3 game for the most part, like for half of the game, right? Like, especially like this part of the world that we're in right now, the city. This is like the main city that you're in. It's like your main one. There are a few other areas. There are a couple areas that are really nice looking, but overall, I mean, graphics wise, it's nothing impressive. There are, like I said, there are a couple of spots where it's like, I wish the whole game looked like this. Because there are a couple of really beautiful areas in the game that I was like, damn, I really wish the whole game looked like that. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Like, I would, of course, prefer the whole game to look really, really pretty. I mean, I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say, but it's a great game, man. It's really freaking cool, and it was perfect for me. There were some issues. The backtracking is horrible. I do not like the backtracking. You spend there's not enough different levels. Like under 17 hours, just under 17 hours to play for the first playthrough, and apparently there's 5 different endings, and I'm most likely going to go through the whole game and see it all. So this might be an incomplete review, because you have to beat it multiple times to get the full experience, and especially after, like, when I first started the game, and it was completely different than the way I started it before. I was like, what's going to happen here? But I wanted to jump in the review and be like, hey, this game's awesome. I've been wanting to talk about it for a long time, since I started playing it and stuff. But yeah, so the backtracking is terrible. I'm not a big fan of backtracking. I haven't been a fan of backtracking for a long time. Like I grew up with games like that. I grew up with having to play the same level a million times over, and I'm no longer into that. That's why I don't play Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Neo. I think they're cool games, but I do not want to keep playing the same level over and over again. I just don't want to do it anymore. So this game is full of backtracking. Some of it is, your own mistakes, my mistakes of going to the wrong spot, maybe exploring too much, and then having to go back to that same place anyways. But there is a lot of there's actually literally a quest where I had to go back and forth between two NPCs like 4 times because they were sending me here's a message, take this message to the NPC, go to the message, take message, back and forth, and it was just like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me, man. Fortunately, after about 6 hours, for me it took 5 or 6 hours before I unlocked fast travel. That's how long it took through the game before it progressed to the point where it's like, okay, now you've unlocked fast travel. So fortunately there is a fast travel system in the game after you play it for a few hours. That was cool. One of my first notes that I said here, and I'm not sure, I'd have to replay the demo again, but it did feel like when I played this game, it did feel like the demo was barely a taste, just the tiniest tease, and the demo was really freaking cool. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I love the demo. And most of the demo is most of that one level. I remember when I was playing through the demo area, I think it's basically the first part of the game. It didn't feel like the demo had everything. It felt like there were a few things different in the full game that weren't in the demo, but it could be just that I have a bad memory, and it could be just that I forgot that was in the demo. I don't know, but it did feel new and different, so that was cool. So I did note there are some crappy camera angles sometimes, not always, but sometimes. And I remember there was this one quest, there was this ladder that I was climbing up in the village, and there was a body on top of the ladder, and I kept climbing the ladder, and it would just kick me back down the ladder. I keep climbing the ladder over and over and over. And it was just like, so there are, there are a few issues here and there. But overall, I'm blown away, man. I cannot wait to continue my next playthrough of this game. And most of it is because when I started playing this game, it was perfect for what I've been needing, sort of, almost. Pretty much at first, because at first it felt like it was going to be this open world game that I not only got to explore an open world, a nice open world, biggish world, but also full of fast-paced action, which I love. I couldn't believe I'm switching between hack and slash and twin stick shooters, and I love the twin stick shooter levels in the game. And the balance is it's mostly hack and slash. Twin stick shooters, there's I think 2 or 3 big levels of them. They are long. They don't make it a real quick thing. They're actually pretty cool levels and stuff, and it's amazing. I don't know. For me, it was amazing. I loved it. The music, wow, the music. I just couldn't. My ears were just. I don't know, man. It's beautiful. It's amazing. The music is amazing. And the funny thing to me is, especially during this level, this main level that you go through the city, you hear. I'm pretty sure it's the same song on repeat, and it seemed long enough, and I never got sick of it. Not once. Not for a second. Never get sick of that music. It's just amazing. I'm just like, wow, But apparently the soundtrack is 5 hours long, so that's pretty impressive. I only found out because I went to go find music to play in the background for this video. Anyways, no dead air. Oh, that's right. So, a lot of games that I play all the time, there's these parts that I get to where I'm walking through the world and playing the game, and then I'll notice there's no music at all, and this happens in almost every damn game ever. There's just no music. There's nothing. There's no mood, and I'm just walking through this world bored because I have no music, nothing to set the mood, nothing to keep me going, and I'm telling you, music makes a huge difference for me, man. Once the music stops, it might take me 30 seconds to notice. It might take me about that long, but usually it takes me about 10 seconds, and I'll be like, hey, wait a second, where's the music? Sometimes a game will get me, though, because it'll be 10 seconds of silence, and then the music will start right when I'm start complaining about it. This game had, I'm pretty sure, it felt like, I'm pretty sure it was music basically 99.9% of the time. I remember there being one quiet second, but the music is just the whole time. And it's amazing music too. So that is special to me because I'm telling you, I can't. When it gets silent, it drives me freaking crazy. I'm like, no, I need music. Let's see. I'm trying to read through my. I keep ending up with these on my screen, doing the stream stuff. I'm going through my notes and I didn't really. I wasn't planning to actually do this. I looked at my notes for this. I don't have a lot of notes. I think just saying the game's amazing. It's a hack and slash twin stick shooter is enough. Really, that was enough for me. I loved it. The story is pretty crazy. It's weird. Like I don't even know what happened in the story. Really, it's just robots fighting robots. I don't. There is a story, but it wasn't some amazing involved thing for me. It was just about their relationship, I guess, sort of. It was interesting. It was just not. The story isn't what captivated me. It was the gameplay and the world and the difference, the variety of just gameplay, man. Especially the boss fights. The boss fights were. This is some special stuff, man. The boss fights were really, really good. I'll tell you, and they were long, and I never got bored of them. Let's see. Start getting bored during side quests. That's right. I did get bored during side quests. This was a note. And mostly because, when there's not enough levels. And the reason for this, the reason that there's not enough, like 17 hours is not enough zones in the game because it's all so damn awesome. And whenever you have a game where you just love it, you want more and more and more. So when it's over, when this ended for me, I was like, no. And I was like, and I already knew if there was a New Game Plus, I'm going to be playing it. And I don't know how quickly I'm going to rush through a New Game Plus, but I definitely really want to play this game again. Like, I love this game. So I'm really excited to see that it actually starts completely different, and I'm going to see how that goes. Anyways, keep repeating myself. But, yeah, so doing the side quest, the reason I got a little bit bored there is because, again, the backtracking, it's since there's not a lot of zones, not a lot of different levels. There's, like, I don't know, 4 or 5. They're cool and everything, but going back and forth between the same levels, and like I said, I'm just done with that. I no longer enjoy that in the game. I did that for so many years as a kid. When I grew up with video games, it's all I did was this back and forth in the same level over and over. So I'm just done with that. I'm tired of that. Let's see. Navigating with the map can be painful because it's not a truly open world game, and it's hard to tell with the map which way will take you around to get to the spot that's blocked by invisible walls. This is something I actually forgot I wrote down a note for. The map is 3D, and you can spin it around, get all different angles on it and stuff. And sometimes you'll see like your quest is like underground and on top of the ground, but because of the world being blocked here and there, like you can't just look at the map and be like, I'm gonna go here. I mean, you can go to that area, but you're by looking at the map, you're not exactly pinpointing which direction, which buildings you have to go through or around. And it's not a big deal, especially after beating the game, and there not being it's not a huge world. It's not enormous. It's very small. It's big enough to enjoy and play, but it's there's a few areas that you go through. And I loved the desert one. The desert area was super cool. And there's still so much for me to do. When I was playing through, there's a bunch of stuff I couldn't unlock. There's chests I couldn't unlock, doors I couldn't go through. And I'm just like, what the hell? And I thought, like, I would unlock them before the end of the game. Like, I thought I'd get to this point in the game where it'd be like, okay, now you can do this. But that never happened. So apparently that's going to be a part of the New Game Plus. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Oh, the weapon skill system is pretty crazy. What I love about this is it's not super advanced. It's deep, but it's easy to understand. And a lot of games, they get really convoluted, and there's just so much crap like piled into it that you have to go through. And I no longer like all that. I'm not into micromanaging anymore and all that stuff. So I like when I see a game do something deep, but also simple enough to get into. Zelda Breath of the Wild does the same thing with its cooking and stuff like that. So the weapons and skills, so you can upgrade your weapons. You can buy all kinds of different weapons. You get 2 loadouts for your weapons. All the weapons that you equip are melee. You automatically have a shooting weapon, which is your little drone that follows you around. and I didn't even realize this until 15 hours in, that I could lock on to enemies because I thought it was disabled for anything above easy or whatever. And I kept manually aiming, right? So I kept manually aiming while firing until just tonight. I was playing the game before I beat it, and I realized that I tried the lock on button. I was like, let me see what this lock on exactly does, because I never really tried it before. And you just tap the lock on button, and it'll keep locked onto your enemies. So while you're firing, you can keep doing your melee and stuff. It's very simple combat system that's very fun to pull off. So the 2 loadouts you get, you equip 2 different melee weapons. You can equip them however you want. You get a bunch of weapons. You can upgrade the weapons. They're slow, fast, like quick weapons, heavy weapons, stuff like that. You get a couple different ranged weapons between like a machine gun or missiles. I don't know. I just wrote this down because I did notice that the weapon system is deep enough to, like, it all feels like an RPG, right? It has enough RPG elements that you use and get into for it to feel RPG-ish. And it also is full of lots of action. It's just fun, man. I love it. I love the action that I came across. And so, jeez. I don't know. It was just, when I was first playing this game, my first hour or two, I was like, this is the game I've been waiting for. This game is perfect for me. And I was kind of playing through, so I got these 3 games at once because they all came within the same week: Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier, and Zelda. So it was really hard to balance between them. And there was a point where I was playing through this, and I got kind of like, the backtracking is what made me stop playing it. Every time, like, once I started getting into having to backtrack, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna take a break from this game. But every time I started like getting into it and actually playing it, I just, like, I can't stop. I love it. It's a freaking super cool game. Let's see, when the action is happening in the game, it's amazing. When I got stuck doing stupid little side things like sonar detecting, it slowed down the pace and bored me. Oh yeah, kind of nearing the end, there was this quest where it was a main quest too, where I had to use like a sonar detector in order to find, the parts for the quest that I needed. It wasn't as bad as it ended up not being super bad, but when I first started doing that quest, I was like, oh no, please, not one of these, So those are my just little bits of notes, and I did make this last much longer than I was expecting to. I did ramble a bit, and I don't know, I just wanted to talk about the game, really. I think it's freaking cool as hell, and I might be back with another video after I continue to play through the game and do multiple playthroughs. I don't know, it depends on how much happens and stuff. It does seem like if if it goes the way it's looking like it is going, it might be completely different. It might actually take 5 complete full playthroughs in order to get the full experience of the game. That's possible. I don't know. Either that or it's just little side extra things that'll just be fun to do as a new game. So I don't know. I'm going to find that out. But thanks for watching this. Thanks for taking the time to come and check out my video and my thoughts. This game is freaking awesome, man. It's got its issues. Like I said, the biggest thing for me is the backtracking. I'm just like, ugh. So it is a semi-open world. It's nothing. It's an action game. Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, God of War, that kind of style with some twin stick shooting thrown in, man. And it mixes it up between 2D and 3D. The style is really cool. Oh, this is one of the areas that I thought was beautiful. There's also the forest robot area that's beautiful. The desert was actually, even for a desert, it was beautiful. I mean, it is very, like, super pretty in some parts, and then really PlayStation 3 looking in other parts, especially the first city you start in. So I always say this, like, I am a fan of graphics. I want my graphics to look good. I don't need them to, but I want them to. I'm playing on a PS4. I'm playing on newer games. I want them to look really good. But I got a lot of crap for making my video about this game looking like a PS3 game, and I was just saying, look, it just looks like a PS3 game. What the hell, man? I'm just tired of it. Like, I got fed up with it because I played Star Ocean, Faithlessness, and Integrity, and that was the same thing where it looked like a PS3 game HD'd, and I was like, dude, why? This game was made. They told us this game was made specifically for the PS4, so why are the graphics PS3 looking? So I understand the budget. You know, they're on a budget. They can't make this big, you know, thing and stuff. I totally get that. I do understand that. But I've seen indie games that look amazing. All right, indie games that cost $15. You know, I could name a bunch of those that look really beautiful. So AAA quality style. So I'm not putting them down or anything, and I don't mean to insult them. You know, it's just I like my graphics being good, man. So, anyways, I got a lot of crap for that, and I understand, but I still think people should, like, you know, let's be realistic. Like, you know, like, there are lots of parts in the game that look like really bad, but the game's amazing, and I do feel bad for ragging on the graphics because the game is amazing, but the graphics are still bad in a lot of areas. So, man, whatever. I'll just ramble, repeat myself over and over. You guys have an amazing day or night or whatever. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully talk to you later. Bye.